Hey guys, this is Graham here at therecordingrevolution.com. Hope you're having a great week. Want to do a video for you today on what people call sample replacement or sample enhancement. And the idea here is you recorded something, usually a drum set, and one or two or multiple of the actual sounds you recorded just don't work. And ideally, you record it well in the first place. A lot of times, and this is the only reason I really am showing this to you guys, is in our context of a home studio, we don't have a great sounding room to record drums. A lot of times it's a living room, a lot of times it's a basement. Maybe you do rent out some space, but we don't have a lot of good opportunity to record in a great space or a lot of time to dedicate to getting that perfect snare or kick sound. Because let's face it, a big budget, big label recording, they're going to spend days, if not a week, just getting the snare and other instruments in the drum set sounding great, switching out snares, tuning them, different rooms, different mics. They want that killer drum sound, and that takes a lot of money and time to get the top drum sound. But you can get a great drum sound at home. I've done videos on that, but this video is to help you when all else fails and you need the snare or the kick or something to sound a little bit better. You can bring in a sample of a previously recorded kick or snare, let's say, and bring it alongside your recorded version and blend it in the mix. And it can be very helpful. Today we're going to replace or enhance a snare. So I've got a multi-track drum set right here. I've got kick, snare, two toms, and stereo overheads. Take a listen. All right, here's the snare by itself. All right. So what I want to do is enhance that snare sound and bring out more crack, more sizzle on the snare. And I'm going to do that with a sample. First thing you want to do is create a new track for that sample. So I'm going to make an audio mono track, and I'm going to call it snare replacement. Second thing you're going to do is find a sample and bring it into your session. Now, this could be triggered from, let's say, a virtual instrument. If you're in Pro Tools or something, you could use Expand or something like that to trigger a cool snare sound that you think will fit. Or you can buy or bring in from a loop library different snare hits. Whatever the case, you want to import it into your session now. And I happen to have one in my audio bin. Snares replacement, that's the one. Bring that into my Pro Tools session, and you can take a listen to this by itself. Okay, just a simple snare hit. Now, there's a two-step process to getting ready to replace this snare, because basically I'm going to want to paste this snare sample everywhere there's a snare hit on my already recorded multi-track drum set, right? The way to do this appropriately and fast in Pro Tools, and the same will apply to any other DAW with a few different tweaks, is to copy this sound to your clipboard before you do anything else. So I'm going to hit the letter C to copy, or edit, copy in Pro Tools. Now I'm going to group these two snare tracks together so that I can paste them together really, really easily. So I'm going to select them and hit Command G or Control G in Pro Tools to create a group. I'm going to call it snares. And now you can see if I drag and select on one track, it selects both. They're grouped now. So it's important that you copied that snare sound before you made the snare group. So you'll see why. Now that I've got it copied, I've got the snares grouped together. I want to get right up before the first snare hit that I want to replace. And in Pro Tools, you want to make sure you are in tab to transients mode. And it's this little button up here. Looks like an arrow pointing to a waveform. Make sure that's engaged. Come back down here to my tracks, and you're going to hit tab, and notice how it moved the cursor right up to the first snare hit, because these are together, so it sees, okay, where's the next hit of any kind? It's only going to be on this track, your snare track, and that's good. So now the cursor is exactly where my snare was in the first place, and then I'm going to just press paste. And notice it pasted the sample only on the sample track, and it didn't paste any blank space or anything over my original snare. And that's only because I copied the snare sample hit before I grouped these tracks together. And that's why I had you do in that order. So now you can see you've got this snare right above the original snare. Okay? Let's tab and paste again. Let's tab through to the next snare hit, paste again. You get the idea. Tab, paste. That's going to be your motto for the day. You can always hold Option or Alt Tab to jump back. So you're just going to do that throughout the entire song, basically. And now what you can do is I'm going to ungroup these tracks so I can mix their volumes a little bit different. Let's take a listen. Here is the original snare. Here's the two together. So you see how you got that crack and the sizzle of the replacement snare, but by itself, it loses some of the body, some of the meat that maybe my original recorded snare had. And more importantly than listening to them soloed is in the mix. Take out the replacement. See how it sounds a little choked? You bring in the enhancement snare. And that's it in a nutshell. You're basically bringing in a previously recorded sample and mixing it right alongside your other ones, and then you would mix it in your mix as if it were an extra mic that you mic the snare. The only thing I'll say to be aware of is you'll want to zoom in and just take a quick glance to make sure that your audio waves are lined up pretty close and nothing is completely out of phase, meaning like it's shifted like this. Then you're going to have everything kind of backwards, and you're going to start to introduce phasing, which is going to kind of reduce a lot of the fullness and sound. It's going to choke the sound of your snare. So you just want to take a look and make sure that everything's pretty close. Nothing fancy here. They should be, but you never know. Sometimes tab the transient in Pro Tools, or if you're eyeballing this in another DAW, you won't get it quite 100%. All right, that's sample enhancement or replacement in Pro Tools, or any DAW for that matter. Again, there are plugins that do this instantly. Some DAWs, I know the newest version of Logic, they kind of built in a drum replacement plugin for free. If you have something like that, great, use it. If you don't have Sound Replacer or something like that, this is the poor man's way to do it. It's free, it's easy, and you can do this with any kind of sound, but usually kicks and snares are great ones to do quickly and easily. Hope that's helpful to you guys. Again, this is Graham at therecordingrevolution.com. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't been over to the website, go and check it out, because there's articles all week long on tips to make better music in your studio without spending any money, to make better music now, and to really get the most out of your home studio. So if you're just catching the videos, check out all the other articles as well. We run contests on the website as well, and you can comment right there on the blog and let me know how it's helping you guys. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.